the emperor's new clothes.
Read and presented by George Pitropogiannakis.
Many years ago, there lived an emperor who was so fond of clothes that he cared about nothing else. No matter who wished to see him, the answer was always the same.
Guard, tell the Emperor that the Minister of Peace wishes to see him. It's no use, sir. The Emperor is in his dressing room. The Emperor is always in his dressing room, but this is very, very important.
Well, I'll tell him, but I'm sure it's no use. He's trying on a new suit as usual, and he won't care how important your business is.
A moment later,
Pardon me, Your Majesty. The Minister of Peace wishes to see you. It's very important.
Tell him to go away. Can't you see I'm busy trying on my new 3 o'clock in the afternoon suit?
the emperor had different clothes for every hour of the day.
This suit will be fine, but I want a new 9 o'clock in the morning suit. Tell the 9 o'clock tailor to come here at once.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Excuse me, Your Majesty, the King of Barbaria has arrived for a visit.
Excellent. Now I'll have someone to admire my dinner on Wednesday suit. I wonder if I should really wear that suit again. I wore it last Wednesday. How dull it is to wear the same dinner on Wednesday suit over and over again.
Then,
Your Majesty, the Minister of Weaving wishes to see you.
Oh, perhaps he has some new cloth to show me. Tell him to come in.
It's wonderful news, just wonderful. Your Majesty will be so happy.
What is wonderful news?
I am told that the 2 finest weavers in the whole wide world have come to our city. The cloth they weave is said to be more beautiful than anyone can imagine, and the clothes that are made from this cloth are magic clothes. People who are very stupid or who are not fit for their jobs cannot see these clothes at all.
How wonderful. I must have some of that cloth woven for me at once. I will have a suit made from this magic cloth. Then, if any of my court cannot see my suit when I'm wearing it, I'll know they aren't fit for their jobs.
the Minister of Weaving hurried to town to get the 2 weavers.
You must come to the castle at once. The Emperor wishes you to weave some cloth for him, for a new suit of clothes.
When the 2 weavers arrived at the castle,
Here they are, Your Majesty.
Splendid. I am told that you 2 men can weave the most beautiful cloth imaginable. Is it true?
Ah, Your Majesty, our materials are so wonderful that they can be seen only by the wisest of men.
The clothes that are made from our cloth are invisible to the eyes of the stupid. Your Majesty, of course, will be able to see them and know how beautiful they are.
You must get to work at once. I can't wait to wear these splendid clothes.
But Your Majesty, we cannot start to work until we have some money.
Give them gold and anything else they need. I want them to start weaving without delay.
the weavers returned to their room in the town. Then,
Here are 2 bags of gold.
We will need 2 large looms.
And we must have 10 spools of the purest gold thread and 5 rolls of the finest silk.
Yes, yes, I will bring everything you need.
as soon as the minister was gone, the 2 weavers began to laugh.
What a joke this will be on the Emperor. He will never find out that there is no such thing as invisible cloth.
Every man will think himself stupid and will try to hide it by pretending to see the cloth that really isn't there. And no one will dare admit that he can't see our cloth for fear of losing his job.
Even the Emperor will pretend he can see the invisible cloth, and we will grow rich because he will pay us for it.
Then the 2 men sat down and pretended to weave. Far into the night, they worked at their empty looms. The next day,
I would like to know how the weavers are getting along, but what if I go to look at their cloth and I can't see anything at all? Of course, I am sure that couldn't happen. I am a fine emperor. No man could be better suited to his job than I am. Still, it cannot hurt to send someone else. First, I'll ring for the Minister of Weaving.
a few minutes later,
Minister, I wish you to go to the weavers and inspect their work. Come back and tell me how they are doing.
Yes, Your Majesty.
So the minister went to the room where the two weavers sat working at their empty looms.
Oh my goodness, I don't see any cloth. Can it be that I am a fool, or that I am not fit for my job? I must be careful not to give myself away.
Then
Come in! Come in!
Come a little closer and tell us how you like the cloth we are making. What do you think of it? Is it not the most beautiful material you have ever seen?
Indeed it is. It is splendid. I certainly think that the Emperor is going to be pleased.
I am delighted to hear that, but you must tell the Emperor that we need more money. This pattern that we are making for him is very hard to weave.
We must also have more silk and more gold thread.
when everything they asked for had been brought to them, the weavers again hid it all in their bags. Meanwhile, the Minister of Weaving went back to the Emperor and described the cloth he hadn't seen.
"Oh, Your Majesty, it is indeed a beautiful material.
Do you think the color will look well on me?
There can be no doubt of it. It will be the most handsome suit you have ever worn. What will become of me if the Emperor discovers that I really could not see the cloth? Oh dear, I will lose my job."
Meanwhile, the news about the Emperor's new clothes spread.
Have you heard about the magic cloth that is being woven for the Emperor?
Indeed I have. People can hardly wait to see the Emperor wear his new clothes.
Yes, every man thinks he will have a chance to see if his neighbor is stupid.
They say the Emperor is paying more for this suit of magic cloth than he has spent on all of his other clothes put together.
It will be worth it if he finds out that some of his ministers are not fit for their jobs.
By this time, the Emperor was more curious than ever about the wonderful cloth.
Now that the Minister of Weaving has seen the material, I will feel terribly embarrassed if I cannot see it.
So the Emperor sent for his wife and asked her to see how the weavers were doing.
I would go myself, but I am too busy.
The Empress knew what it would mean if she saw nothing. But she did see nothing because, of course, there was nothing to see.
Oh dear, I must not let anyone know that I cannot see the magic cloth. The Emperor would not love me if he thought I were stupid.
So the Empress pretended to admire the new cloth.
Oh, how marvelous it is. Perhaps the Emperor will let you weave a dress for me after his suit is finished.
Then the Empress went back to the Emperor and told him that the cloth was the most beautiful that she had ever seen.
You should go and see it without delay. You will be simply delighted.
That is wonderful.
The next day, the Emperor's curiosity could no longer be controlled.
I will go to see the weavers.
So the Emperor called his two chief advisors.
I want you to go with me to inspect the cloth that the two weavers are making.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Of course, Your Majesty, we will be happy to.
When the Emperor reached the room where the two weavers were pretending to work,
Oh, this is terrible, terrible. Am I really stupid? Am I not fit to be emperor? I see nothing.
each of the Emperor's two advisors thought that he was the only person who could not see any cloth. So,
Isn't it magnificent? Your Majesty should be proud to wear clothes made of such beautiful cloth.
Yes, yes, you are right. I will be very proud. I can hardly wait for my new suit to be ready.
I have a splendid idea. The whole town has been talking about your new clothes. Why not wear them in the big parade tomorrow so everyone can see them?
Yes, that is a fine idea. I will certainly wear them in the big parade if they can be finished in time.
Of course they can be finished. We will work all night if we have to.
We would be delighted to have you wear your new suit for everyone to see.
and then just to be sure that everyone would think he was really pleased with the work of the weavers, the emperor knighted both of them.
Your new title will be Gentleman Weaver.
The weavers pretended to work all night long to finish the emperor's new clothes in time for the parade the next day. The people in the castle were so excited that they stood in the hallways talking and whispering late into the night.
I hear the cloth is of solid gold thread.
Oh no, you have it all wrong. It is mostly purple with gold thread running through it.
And in the town, people were also talking about the emperor's new clothes.
Did you hear that the two weavers have been knighted by the emperor?
And now the weavers pretended that the cloth was finished. Carefully, they took it from the looms. Then they cut out the suit with a huge pair of scissors, and they stitched away for the rest of the night, sewing up the emperor's new clothes with needles that had no thread in them. Early the next morning, the emperor gathered together the men of his court and went to see his new clothes.
This is the day of the big parade. Are my new clothes ready?
The two weavers pretended they were holding out the finished suit of clothes for the emperor to admire.
Indeed they are. Here are the trousers. And here is the coat.
Splendid, magnificent, beautiful.
Will your majesty be pleased to take off your clothes? Then you can try on this new suit right here in front of this mirror.
And so the emperor took off his clothes and pretended to put on his new suit.
Here is the shirt, your majesty.
And here are the trousers, your majesty.
And so it went, with the emperor pretending to put on one thing after another until the emperor was completely dressed from head to toe in his wonderful new clothes. Around and around he turned, admiring in the mirror the clothes he could not see.
Splendid, magnificent. What beautiful colors.
What a perfect fit.
How becoming that suit is.
Then it was time to start the parade.
Your Majesty, the people have been standing in the streets for hours waiting to see your new clothes.
I am ready, and I want you two weavers to march behind me.
And so the emperor went forth from the castle to show off his beautiful, invisible new clothes. Everywhere the emperor marched. The people pretended to admire the clothes they could not see, because they did not want anyone to think they were stupid.
Here comes the emperor. Just see how perfectly those clothes fit.
This is the most magnificent suit the emperor has ever worn.
It is a pity that I cannot see these clothes. They must really be beautiful from the way everyone is talking.
Just when the emperor was feeling satisfied with his new clothes, a small child pointed at him and said in a very loud voice,
"But, Mama, the Emperor has nothing on."
The emperor knew at once that the child was telling the truth and that everyone else had been lying.
Oh, I knew it! I knew it! What a fool I have made of myself!
There was nothing to do but continue with the parade as if nothing had been said. So the emperor marched along, prouder than ever.
A child says the emperor has nothing on.
Did you hear?
He has nothing on.
From that day on, the emperor lost his interest in new clothes. After the parade, he called the minister of weaving to his chamber.
You must find new jobs for all of my tailors. From now on, I will have only one suit made each year, starting exactly 1 year from today. This will remind me how foolish I have been about clothes. All of these clothes will be given away to the poor people of the town.
As punishment for their wicked actions, the two weavers were put to work in a tower of the castle. Only this time, they were not just pretending to work. They were kept busy for the rest of their lives, weaving cloth and making clothes for all the poor people of the empire. The end. The Emperor's New Clothes.
Read and presented by George Pitropogiannakis.